This is my Toyota MR2 MK3, and I think it's one of the most underrated mini sports cars around, but let's see why.
Toyota have so far made 3 versions of the MR2. The first generation W10 from 84 to 89, the second generation W20 from 89 to 99, and the third generation W30 from 99 to 2007. The Mark III uses an all-alloy 1.8 litre 16-valve VVTi engine known as the 1ZZ. It has 138 horsepower and 125 foot-pounds of torque. Design-wise, it was only ever available as a convertible roadster with a manual soft top, though a hard top was a rare optional extra. Storage-wise, it's known for having very little storage space. It is no conventional boot, but rather a small compartment behind the seats and a tiny frunk. It features a simple, no-frills cabin designed for back-to-basics driving experience.
Now, the styling of this car is a bit divisive. I think the best way to describe it is it looks interesting, but no one wants to drive a boring car, so maybe this is right. The main bit which I think looks strange is the headlights. They kind of remind me of a frog, and it's not everyone's cup of tea, but I don't mind them because the rest of the car is great. Now, when you get into the driver's seat of a car, you instantly get a feeling of what the car's about. And the interesting exterior and the simple interior are hiding something pretty amazing. The MR2 MK3 is an absolutely amazing little car to drive. It's not the fastest with only 140 brake horsepower, but with a curb weight of 975 kilos, that's under a ton, the horsepower to weight ratio is absolutely amazing. If you compare this to, for example, a Porsche Boxster, which weighs 1,250 kilos, that's nearly 300 kilos less. You can really feel how light it is when you're going around corners and taking bends. You can hit them with such speed, and this car just takes it. It's like it's on rails. Now, this car can rev to 8,000 RPM. It redlines just before 7, but it means when you really push this car to its limits, the rewards are amazing. And that was only 5,000. Oh, we're here. The handling on this car is some of the best I've ever experienced. I've driven a few cars in my lifetime, one of them being a Lamborghini Aventador Performante, and this is better. The Lamborghini, you're kind of scared to drive it, you don't want to damage it, you don't want to push it too hard. Whereas this, they're cheap, they're fun, you can just drive them any way you want. I'm driving them on the muddy, bumpy English back roads, and it takes it. It does it all, and it does it really well. The handling on this car is like a little go-kart. It's phenomenal. If you haven't tried one, you need to get your hands on one just to give it a go. Now, price-wise, these cars are pretty cheap still. They're around 500 to 2,000 depending on the condition. 500 for one that needs a lot of work, 2,000 for a pretty good one. They can go for a lot more, but that's a pretty standard price. The hardtops are almost as expensive as the cars themselves. In England, this hardtop costs about £1,000 with the fitting kit. So you compare that to a car which you could potentially get for 1,000, and £2,000, you've got a hardtop MR2 MK3. In the past few years, I have seen the prices of these go up though. I have been paying attention to them because obviously I have one, so I want to know how much it's worth, and they are becoming more sought after. Everyone's kind of realizing that these are a great little budget mini JDM sports car. Now, that being said, these cars are known for having a few common issues, same as any other cars really. The main one is the precats. The precats on these cars are known to break up when you're driving. The broken up parts can then get sucked back into the engine, causing catastrophic damage, and that's a full engine replacement. The other issue on these is piston rings and valve stem seals. The piston rings gunk up because they only had one small hole on the pistons for the oil return, and then they stop working, and then the oil just passes into the combustion chamber and it starts smoking out the back, like my one does. The valve stem seals also do the same thing. They just degrade over time like any other car, but they're pretty common on these. My car smokes, a lot of them smoke. You just kind of learn to live with it. A common upgrade on these, if you decide to change the engine, is to go for a 2ZZ. These cars originally come with a 1ZZ engine, but a common upgrade is to change it and swap it for a 2ZZ. There are other bits involved, not just the engine, but it upgrades it from around 140 to around 165 to 192 horsepower, depending on which model you get. The 2ZZs are much more reliable. They're known for lasting a long time, so something to think about when you're looking at buying one of these cars. Another consideration is that these cars aren't that popular. That means that aftermarket parts are sometimes difficult to come by or more expensive. For example, this car doesn't have a Haynes manual, which I found pretty crazy. Also, I was looking at doing coilovers for this car. They ranged from about 600 upwards, so more expensive than your standard cars like the MX-5. A cheaper option for lowering the car is lowering springs, which is what I've done here, and they work great. They're pretty comfortable. Slightly stiffer ride, but they lower it and it looks cool. So overall, what do I think of the car? Honestly, I love it. It's a really cool looking, cheap little Japanese sports car that does everything you want it to. Replacement parts for things like brakes and engine parts are really cheap. It gets about 35 miles per gallon, so it's not too bad on fuel. It drives amazingly and it puts a smile on my face every time I drive it. Overall, I give the car a very respectable 8 out of 10. Some reliability issues and the kind of strange looking front headlights knock it down a couple of marks, but everything else it does perfectly. I hope you all go out and buy a Toyota MR2 Mark III. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.